A new report from Zoocasa finds that Canadian cities generally have more affordable mortgage payments than those in the United States, even though home prices are often higher north of the border. Toronto, for instance, has the fourth highest home prices among all 50 cities analysed, but its average monthly mortgage payment is only the eighth highest on the list. Let's get more from Lauren Hall, broker of record and industry relations officer at Zoocasa. Lauren, great to see you. So that is kind of counterintuitive. We keep hearing about inflated Canadian real estate. It has gone up a lot more than American real estate over the past half decade or more. But mortgage payments often are lower in this country.
They are. Now, part of that's because the average time, so the average term of a mortgage in Canada is much shorter. So you probably have heard that the amortization, the typical amortization you're getting in an American mortgage is closer to 30 years. So you can lock in a rate for the next 30 years, which means that banks tend to be a bit more conservative and rates tend to be higher. So it really all just comes down to, even with dropping rates in the States as well, because the terms are longer, the interest rates tend to be a little bit higher.
I suppose people, though, who are lucky or smart enough to lock into a 30-year mortgage at times of low interest rates, they're happy.
Exactly. Well, that's why we're actually not seeing a lot of sales in the States right now, and why their prices have stayed fairly consistent. Even when we've seen some Canadian house prices go through a bit of a dip, because people are in these 30-year terms that are often fixed to the house itself. You don't see Americans moving as quickly.
So I'm looking here at home prices, and so in Toronto, we're looking in US dollars at a typical price north of $900,000 US, whereas San Francisco, my goodness, these are just prices, median home prices, is up around 1.3 million US. But good old Vancouver, what, 1.5 million almost US. So we're pretty comparable with big US cities in terms of home price.
We are. Canadian home prices are, as we know, we've got a big shortage of developed land, and we've got a very low density in a lot of our urban cities. And so because of that, our prices have quite frankly kind of skyrocketed in the last 20 years. And, you and I have talked about this on the show before. We've got an inventory issue that has kept prices buoyant in Toronto and in other Canadian urban centers.
Wow, I knew San Francisco was an expensive place to live, but the average monthly mortgage payment, I can't believe this, is north of $7,000 US?
Yes. Now, if you think about, though, who was living in San Francisco, we know it has a big wealth disparity because a lot of the high-tech jobs are in and around or drivable to San Francisco. And so some of the highest paid young people, especially some of the highest paid workers in America, are in and around San Francisco in the tech industry. And so not just their annual income, but also, the exits that some of the companies have made very fast multimillionaires and the money has been plowed a lot of times back into real estate and to stay in that community. And so if we actually added income to this list and median income, you would see there are some correlations, and San Francisco being one of them. There are a lot of very, very, very high-paying tech jobs in the Bay Area.
I was looking at New York City here. So the average price of a home in San Francisco, about 1.3 million US, 1.3 million. Poor old New York is only about 630,000. But I guess it has boroughs like Queens and Brooklyn that drag it down.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny to say that 705,000 USD is an average is being drugged down, but the other thing to kind of remember and think about is the proportion of condos, and so apartments, condos, co-ops in New York is higher than you're going to see in San Francisco and the Bay Area as well. Not to say that new construction hasn't focused on condos, but New York, people have been living in apartments for 100 years, for a long time in New York. And in San Francisco, a lot of the housing proportion is still houses.
And Yeah, so it is kind of apples and oranges, isn't it, in that they have those super long mortgages in the States. But I can really see where that would freeze somebody, though. They would not want to move because they'd have to pay, in America, I mean, they'd have to pay that much bigger mortgage every month if they did.
Yes, exactly. And so, when rates start coming down, we might see more trades starting to happen in the States. In Canada, a lot of times the mortgages are portable. So it also means that, which means you could sell your house and take your mortgage to another one without a penalty. Now you have to stick with the same lender. But there is a bit more of that portability generally in the Canadian market. And so we haven't seen the same kind of breaks put on the market. Something that is important when we're looking at this, obviously, and digesting this is it isn't completely fair to look at things in US dollars and pretend that it's exactly the same, because we get paid. I'm paid in Canadian dollars. And so to convert into USD, like if we were actually going to do what is an average, say, teacher make, and then what are they paying for their mortgage, in some ways you kind of want to look at also apples to apples of the dollars that you're paid. And so we had to make a comparison. And so in this day of remote work, if you are a remote tech worker, for example, and you could pick up and live in Toronto or Washington or Miami or Victoria, well, then maybe this is a great way to kind of look at it. But you'd have to hope to go kind of just to look at San Diego versus Toronto exactly. You do have to be careful and conscious of obviously what currency you're being paid in.